Every so often, the Sports Hangover touches on mature topics. Discretion is advised.
Welcome to the Sports Hangover. We are back and better than ever. I'm Jeremy. That's Mike. And Mike, we have a lot to talk about today. It's Scandal City.
What? Scandal.
There's scandals everywhere. I don't know what the biggest scandal is, but it probably involves Tim Tebow, right?
It does. We are going to talk about Tim Tebow eventually. He's the hottest news around right now.
Folks, that's what you call a professional tease, okay?
Ooh. So what's first before the big tease?
Well, the first thing is the Miami Dolphins back here, they might move to Los Angeles where you are. And that is depressing because that is the most scandalous thing I've ever said.
Where did you hear this news? I haven't seen it anywhere. Is this like Insider
They
Dolphin?
had this vote on Friday to get $3 million a year from the state for the next 30 years to pay for a new stadium. And the state said, no, we're not even going to vote on it.
Whoa.
So it's not even an option anymore. And now the Dolphins owner is talking like, well, I'm not going to put my money in it. Maybe I'll have to sell the team. Maybe the team will move. And then, the internet just says LA Dolphins.
Yeah. So potentially it could now be the LA Dolphins. Now, will you, as a Miami Dolphins fan, still be a fan of the new LA team? Or
this is ironic because I've talked about jumping off the Dolphins bandwagon for the new LA team anyway.
Yeah.
So if it's the Dolphins, it'd be like I could jump off the Miami bandwagon, just jump on LA, and I still keep Ryan Tannehill. It's all for the best.
I don't know if you really want to keep Ryan Tannehill, but it is a fresh start for the Miami Dolphins fans. I know they were good at some point in their career, but they haven't been very good in the last decade or more.
That's going to all change this year. They're probably not going anywhere. That's what makes it a scandal, but it's something to keep an eye on.
And are you sad as a fan to see them go, to leave?
They didn't go anywhere yet. They just didn't get public funding, which they don't deserve public funding. Let's be honest. Does any team deserve public funding?
Well, didn't the Miami Marlins get a whole bunch of money? And maybe that's why they're not going to get money for the
That's what they're saying. The Marlins owner screwed up the Dolphins because he got all this money for this ginormous stadium that no one ever goes to anymore because the Marlins are terrible.
I know.
So many bad things. All right, the Kentucky Derby was this weekend, and it got me thinking, Mike.
Mm-hmm. Did you watch it?
I did watch it. How'd you know?
No, I didn't watch it. I honestly had no idea what was going on because I don't.
You didn't even care to watch it?
I don't even have cable anymore, so I feel like I'm lost in the world a little bit. But I honestly had no idea. I thought it was just Cinco de Mayo weekend.
You're better than that technically because NBC streams all their sports live now on the app.
I know,
but that.
I did find that out this weekend. I had to access my parents' account and use that to watch
some hockey.
Watch some hockey. It was some good hockey.
But it got me thinking. I did watch the Kentucky Derby. It got me thinking, I do want to go next year. That's the first thing I want to say. Okay. And if you want to go, that's great. And if not, even better. But I do want to go. But what sporting event would you if you could attend one sporting event, a Super Bowl, a Kentucky Derby, the Masters, what's the one in the U.S. that you have to attend?
Well, I think it's got to be a sport where I'm a fan of the team. Like the Kentucky Derby to me seems like something to go to once. It's like doing ecstasy or something. It's like, you try it out once, and if you really like it, you go back and do more. So this is what I'm saying with the Kentucky Derby. It's like, it's just something to try. I don't know if I'm going to love it, but it's not something I'm looking forward to. Does that make sense? But
no one's a horse racing fan. There's like 10 horse racing fans in America, and none of them go to the Kentucky Derby. You go for the pomp and the pageantry and the beers and the infield and the hats and the dresses and everything else.
So that's the one sport you would go to if you could pick. Like, Jeremy, I'm giving you a free pass for the rest of your life. You can go to the Kentucky Derby. Is that
every year for the rest of my life?
Every year. Once? I don't think just once. I think every
year.
Why
are you limiting me? Why can't I only go to one sporting event?
You said that. I think I would do.
It's just one. Like next year, if you could pick one, which one are you going to?
I mean, probably the Super Bowl. I feel like that's the biggest build-up and the most excitement. Even though it's not like it's better to watch on TV. But if you said you get to go to the Super Bowl, I'm going to the Super Bowl. Now, if you said that with the Kentucky Derby, I'd be like, do I have to pay for my own flight there? I might not go.
Because it is in Louisville, and why would anyone ever go to Louisville?
Why would anybody move there at all?
I don't get that. But today's May 6th, and the Kentucky Derby was May 4th. So you're asking me today, I'm telling you the Kentucky Derby. Sure, my back burner, my sleeper here is the Masters tournament.
Okay.
Because that's a golf tournament unlike any other. I know you don't give two shits about it, but a lot of people do, Mike, and a lot of people would say the Masters.
Haven't you been there already? Or no?
I have, and I'd rather go back than go to the Kentucky Derby once, but it's May. I'm saying Kentucky Derby. I do want to go next year. I think I made that very clear.
Well, let me know. Maybe I'll jump aboard a flight. Maybe the Sports Hangover can pay for it. We'll get a company flight out.
So the people watching us right now will pay for me to go to the Kentucky Derby.
We'll see if we get enough people watching, we might be able to get a free.
Keep
flight
commenting. Get the numbers up. Come on.
Anything else?
Get to what? Do you have Tebow news for me?
So I have Tebow. So lots of Tebow news came out. He's been a hot story for the last, I don't know, week and a half since no one picked him up. Warren Moon came out, said he's not a good enough quarterback to play in the CFL. He says they throw the ball a lot. There's only 3 downs. You got to throw the ball. So he's not going to make it the CFL. That shoots down my theory that he's going to go to another league.
Same thing for arena football, right? Because it's a small field. They just throw and throw and throw.
Well, arena football is weird because like you can bounce off the sides and do a lot of weird shit in there. So maybe arena football could be the last step for him. But then a survey comes out and says that Tebow is the most influential athlete in America. So
this was by Forbes.
This is by Forbes. So they went around, they asked people. So number 1, Tim Tebow. Number 2, Michael Phelps. And then number 3, Usain Bolt. And the rest, I mean, I'm sure you could name 1 or 2 of the top 10. But Tim Tebow is number 1 because he's in the news all the time. He's a nice boy. He doesn't have sex. And he just goes along with, they fired him. He didn't go out there and tweet like, fuck you, Jets. He's just taking it. He's a man.
I support Tim Tebow more than most people. You do too. We're on the same page here. We want him to get a chance. He's kind of like Jason Collins in the term active. Is Tim Tebow an active athlete right now? Because I don't think he's played in the last year, significant time.
He was on a team, but he's not active right now.
He's not an active athlete. He should probably not have been called active in that poll by Forbes because I don't consider him an active player.
Well, this poll might have been a few weeks ago when he was an active player on the Jets.
The point is he doesn't play, so you can't really vote him number 1 in anything when he doesn't play. And I support him. I think he should play, but until he does play, he's not number 1 in anything.
Well, ESPN and Fox Sports are trying to get him totally out of the whole athlete title and bring him in as a broadcaster. They're supposedly gearing up for a bidding war on Tim Tebow to be on their network. And right now, I think Fox Sports might be in the lead because they seem like they're trying to get their foot in the door and just buy everybody they can to get their network started out here in LA.
They're doing all kinds of stuff with Fox Sports 1, right? They're launching all kinds of new talent. They're going to steal an ESPN talent, which we're going to get to shortly.
I mean, we can talk about it right now. I mean, we can just...
Well, the thing I wanted to say about Tebow is he's going to be paid so much more money at Fox Sports 1 or ESPN than if he was with anyone other than an NFL team, and even with an NFL team.
Do you really...
Think about if you put him in the booth on Monday Night Football.
Yeah, but
you get millions of dollars doing that.
Really? Does John Gruden make millions of dollars doing the
No,
booth?
but Tim Tebow is number 1 on the Forbes list. John Gruden isn't.
I know, but I don't think you're going to be making millions. You'll be making a lucrative income, but you're not going to be... Obviously, you can do sponsorships and do all that stuff, so we can see where it goes. But all right, so let's get back to Fox
I think it's
Sports.
a good move for Tebow.
I know.
Better than arena football. Go to Monday Night Football.
Fox Sports 1 is scooping up people, and I know you're a fan. Well, we used to watch a little Sports Nation. Then your girl, Michelle Beadle, left and went to NBC Sports, which
right. And Cowherd left the show, too, so the show completely dismantled.
And I think Michelle Beadle might have made the wrong move, but that's a whole nother discussion.
Well, if you were watching the Derby, you saw her trying on different hats, and then you would think she never made the wrong move.
I didn't watch it at all. And then Carissa Thompson steps in, who looks like her identical twin, is now
certainly hot as well.
Is now leaving ESPN to go to Fox Sports 1. Supposedly, I guess when her contract's up, she's going to be leaving, going to Fox Sports 1, doing the Fox.
Really? So she's already
Fox
in LA
Live.
When Sports Nation moved. So she just moved next door to Fox. That's interesting.
It's an easy move for her.
How about all the blondes that have been leaving ESPN? Aaron Andrews started it. Mm-hmm. Then Michelle Beadle. Now Carissa Thompson.
It's almost. It seems like now ESPN is more of a stepping stone than a place where you settle in and become a broadcaster. Because now it seems like everybody's like, well, if Fox Sports 1 wants to pay me $2 million a year and ESPN was only paying me $500,000, where are you going to go?
That's what it comes down to, is the cash. And for some reason, ESPN is choosing not to keep these girls around. Maybe it's a good move. I didn't miss Erin Andrews when she left.
I mean, yeah, I'm not going to miss her, but I think ESPN is losing all this. They're losing the eye candy, basically. Right now, I'm stuck with that old lady that does Sports Center during the day sometimes. She's kind of old.
Chris McKendry?
I think she's a little old. I think that might be her. I do like her. What's her name? Like Sage Steele or something?
Sage Steele. I like her. I like Lindsay Zarniak. She does the 6 o'clock.
Yeah. I mean.
Sarah Walsh, not a fan. Sorry, Sarah.
So, I feel like they're losing their eye candy. And I'm not saying that's all ESPN is, but I'm sure it helps a little bit. And they're
but
using
ESPN would rebuttal that and say, there's more eye candy coming up the pipeline. Like, we are not going to pay for eye candy. They're better than that, which I semi-respect.
Yeah.
And I think these other places, they need to build a name for themselves, right? That's what NBC Sports Network needs to do. They brought in Beetle. Fox Sports 1 needs to attract eyeballs. Mm-hmm. Hey, Krista Thompson's there. I used to like her. Let me try that out. I think that's why it makes sense for all these people to jump.
So what happens to Sports Nation? Is that show just going to be canceled? Because I know that whatever his name is can't do the show without
Marcellus Wiley's awful.
Really,
the whole show
really
is awful right now. Every time I watch it, the touchscreen never works behind them, and that just looks horrible for an ESPN production. The show is bad. It was so much better with Beetle and Cowherd. They probably should have canceled it right when they left. They got 2 more years out of it. That's enough. Pull the plug now. Get out.
Can we agree that maybe Fox Sports 1 will potentially be better than ESPN in the next 3 years?
Absolutely. They're in LA, which is a great start, right? And then you just go from there. All this live sports. We're all sick of ESPN and Bayless and Stephen A.
But there's nothing else to watch. Like, I can't go and watch NBC Live or whatever they want, Sports Talk, because they only do it once a day.
NBC Sports Talk. Right. Fox Sports Live, Fox Sports 1 is going to be on all the time, 24/7.
I know. So I'm going to watch that. And if they have an app, it's even better because I cancel my cable and I use somebody else's account information.
It's great info. At least you have Superman back there keeping an eye on you. You know,
That's right.
Fox Sports 1 is planning to revolutionize the way that you observe sports highlights. They hired 2 Canadians, Mike, not 1 but 2.
I know.
Henri and O'Toole. They even hired producer Tim, who doesn't have a last name. This is not made up. This is all factual.
Do you know who these people are?
I do.
Because I've never heard of them before.
I never heard of them before. I looked up their videos. They seem funny. They're snarky. They like to have fun. They don't take themselves seriously. And most of all, they're Canadian, and that's why they're so different. They're going to bring that flair that we don't see often, right?
I guess there's some kind of flair up in Canada. I mean, are they coming down to L.A.?
They're coming to L.A., yeah. They're coming straight to L.A. Fox
visas.
Sports announced that today.
All right. Well, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I don't think talent is going to attract me right now. I think content is what's going to attract me to Fox Sports 1. And you can bring in Krista Thompson, and you can bring in Tom and Larry or whoever their names are, but it's not going. You have to show me that Fox Sports can do what ESPN does and do it better or differently. And that's about
This is really fascinating because people watching might think we're just BSing about Fox Sports here. Any Fox Sports executive would pay money to hear what you just said.
I know.
That you want content over the babes, because they don't necessarily know that, and they want to see what people just like you want.
But
and that's what you want. Say it loud, Mike. Say it proud.
I'm saying it right now. I'm saying it
You
on our
want the
podcast.
content.
I want that's what everybody wants. I mean, you don't just get HBO because there's like one superstar on there. You get it because of all the other content you get. That's all it's about. It's like why people tune in for us. We give them content all the time.
We're not just the eye candy. We're so much more.
We're not just eye candy. Now, we can play Guess That Tweet here, but you've already seen this tweet, so we're not even going to play it.
How do you know I've seen it?
Because we talked about it before the show, and I know that it's been going on.
Okay.
But soon we'll play Guess That Tweet. We haven't brought it back onto the video version yet, and that's something we need to do.
Not since we become a show. We were a podcast, now we're a full-service show.
You could just say...
Get to the point. Get to the content.
2.0. All right, so Shaq and Jose Conseco, I guess, have been going at this for a while on Twitter. Jose Conseco the other night just tweeted, "Hey, pussy," at Shaq. And then Shaq tweeted, "I'll beat your rat ass, boy. The whole world saw you run from Hungman Cho. Set it up and I'll break your jaw."
Wow.
And then also he tweeted again, "You gonna need more than steroids to help you when I smack the rat fur off your ass. Yo ass. Snitches get stitches, part 2. That was hashtag.
Who said that? Shaq didn't say that.
That's what Shaq said.
Oh, boy. That's embarrassing.
And then,
Why is Shaq stooping to Jose Canseco's level? Because who's more embarrassing than Canseco?
Well, Shaq deleted these right after, but then just posted like a picture that said "snitches get stitches." So
is he really gonna beat Canseco's ass? Because I'm sure he could very easily.
I would love to see it. I mean, if Jose Canseco's still on steroids, I know Shaq's a big man, but
Canseco is a foot smaller. There's no chance.
You never know.
That's like you beating up a 12-year-old, Mike.
It's not
There's no chance.
A 12-year-old on steroids could have a shot. He's technically better than what I'm doing.
Even a foot shorter, probably.
All right, let's wrap it up.
Hang on, there's one more story I want to get.
Oh,
in.
whoa.
We're not done with the content.
Breaking news. Show us. What do you got?
It's verbal. I'm not showing.
Okay.
Terrell Owens joined a bowling league.
Okay, I saw that.
A professional bowling league. His first weekend of action, he has 3 scores. A 185, respectable. A 161, he struggled a little bit. And a 129.
That's what I can bowl, I think.
That's what we can bowl.
Yeah.
You should not be in a professional bowling league with a 129.
But 129, I think, is a good day for me. Like, I'm hitting a strike or two every once in a while.
But that's not a score you post in professional bowling. You should be over 2 bills with all of them. I get the 185. The 161 was bad. T.O., man, I know you're desperate for cash and money and fame and fortune. Give it up.
Why not try it out? He could be good. He's got the big arms. He's got muscles. Give him a shot.
No, that's embarrassing. A 129 is embarrassing in that place. If he wants to go bowl, go down to the local parlor with your boys and drink beers and bowl. Don't invite cameras to watch you.
Is he on a team right now?
Yeah, he's in a league, a professional bowling league.
Well, the league signed him up. I mean, this is the same thing. It's like one of a big network wants eye candy, and he's the eye candy to bring people in for bowling. I mean, we would not be talking about professional bowling league if T.O. wasn't there.
No, but we talk about scandals. We're talking about him in a negative light, though.
I know we're talking about
not a positive
light. I know, but we're still talking about it. I might tune in. Like, next time if he comes up on ESPN, I might be like, well, I'll check him out. Why not?
I don't like it, and it's just really sad, and I hope Shaq beats him up.
All right. Check us out on thesportshangover.com, youtube.com/thesportshangover.
Keep commenting just below. You can post a comment. We'll respond personally, professionally, however we choose.
Jeremy, I've noticed lately, I've been checking the stats. We have a lot of mobile users. People are watching us on their phones, on their iPads.
On the go. You're on the subway. You're in the car. You're running down the street. That's where we're at. We are on the go with you.
And if you don't want to see us, we also have an audio version. So go to iTunes and you can subscribe to our show. Get all these in the audio format.
Makes sense. They don't want to see us?
I know. It's an option. Some people, sometimes they're doing something and they can't watch us.
That's weird.
I know. All right. Check us out at sportshangover.com. Everything is there. If we don't get molested, arrested, or abused, we'll be back sometime this week.